Hello, I'm recording this video to show you how you can use Happierco for employee engagement and performance. So Happierco allows you to do four things. So the first is to define OKRs and be able to track your progress effectively. The second is to define some action plan that will be used to reach the OKRs. Also, to understand the performance of individual employees through 360 degrees feedback. And finally, to improve your workspace by maximizing employee performance using Pulse Survey. So here I'm logging to Happierco dashboard. I'm going to the objective session to show how you can define the OKRs. So you can define OKRs for individual, for teams, and for the whole company. You just click on add an objective and you fill in the form. So you can put the description of the objectives, which is what the employee is trying to achieve, or the team or company is trying to achieve, and the key results, how you're going to measure the objectives. For each key result, you can choose the metrics you want to measure, whether it's revenue, number of users, and so on. The start value of this metric and the goal you're trying to reach for this metric. And you can add several key results to the objectives. And you can choose to align the objective to the parent one. So that means that this objective will contribute to a parent objective. And finally, you can change the visibility so that the objective is available to everyone or only a subset of the company. So when everyone, every team define the objectives, what happens is that as an admin, you can track the alignment of those objectives. So I'm gonna show you the alignment for the past quarter, where the objectives are filled in. So as an admin, you see all the objectives, the teams or person for which the objectives have been defined, the person who were assigned the objectives, you can track the status or progress of those objectives. So there's this very interesting alignment tree view where you can see the relationship between the objectives. So at the top, you see the top level or company objectives, and you can see how the teams and then personal objectives are aligned. And you can, at a quick glance, see the progress of everything and know whether you're reaching your goals. So it's very easy for the employee to update the progress of the objective. So you just have to go, click update progress, and you can set the current value of the metric that you have defined and shows a confidence level. The confidence level is whether the objective will be accomplished, whether it's on track, whether it's at risk or off track to not be accomplished. And then everyone can go and comment, like managers and employee can go and comment on your objective and give feedback. And you can see how you're progressing in regards to this objective. So after defining the objectives in the company, what happens is that the employees will define an action plan to reach those objectives. So that's what we have with priorities. So the employee will define some specific priorities that they will be working on to reach the objective and key results that were defined for them. And you can also have some priorities at the teams and company level. So you can also view past priorities that were already completed. So Happierco allows you to track the objectives and priorities, action plan that you put in place to reach the objective, but also it allows you to know how the employees are performing individually through 360-degree feedback. So 360-degree feedback is very simple to set up with Happierco. You just go and create a feedback cycle. You enter the name, you choose a template to run the cycle, and you choose the date at which the cycle will start and the date for the milestone in the cycle. And finally, after the cycle, what happens is that each employee will have, you will have for each employee these reviews after people have responded to the question that were sent with 360 feedback. You have these reviews showing the strengths and weakness of the employees. So these attributes here is something you can also customize in the administration. And below you will see the responses that you got for this employee from their team members and manager. So I'm going in the administration to show you how you can set up this question. So I'm going to the reviews in the administration. So this is a default template, but you can add as many templates as you want. And you have all the questions that you define for this template. So you can just reuse this template and run as many 360 degrees feedback session as you need. So for each question, you have the attributes of the employee you're measuring, and you have a type of question. So it can be a yes or no question, scale 1 to 10, or open-ended question. So that's how you define the question for the 360-degree feedback that you want to run. So if I click here, for example, you can see, so this is what the employees see, and they can just ensure the question and rate their colleague on the attributes that you'll have defined. So that's it for 360-degree feedback. And the last one is pulse survey. So pulse survey is about how your company is enabling everyone to be very performant. So it's also some attributes or categories that you define. So here, per default, you can measure happiness in your company, feedback, whether people are actually giving feedback to each other, personal growth, whether the employee have everything they need to grow and be better at their job, relationship with manager, whether your managers are very good at handling their team, relationship with peers, whether the employees feel comfortable working with their peers, the cohesion, whether the employees feel that they are being recognized for their work, ambassadorship, whether the employees like working at your companies and there are some good ambassadors for what you're doing, and whether the employees are satisfied, whether the employees like they have everything they need in the environment to be performant, and finally whether they are aligned to the goal of the company. So you can see the progress you're making. Generally, you can see your team strength and weakness, and you can also filter all these by groups of teams of employees so that you can see whether some teams are doing good or not. And you can also view the details of each. So you see the question that were asked to the employees to get all this data and how your company is doing in terms of happiness. So in a nutshell, that's all the features that Happierco offers, but you can also see everything by groups, where you have a group profile where every member of this team can interact and see the updates and data relevant to this team. You also have the people profile where you can see the information relevant to one person, their objective, priorities, personal information, and also just click and give some recognition to that person. And finally, the home page is where the employee can see the updates that are relevant to them. So here, for example, the admin has posted a pulse survey that the employee can click and ensure to the survey. And also you can just go and post some announcements here that you want all the company to receive. So for example, if you want to send a message to a whole company or a specific group or team in the company, you can just use it. And finally, there's this check-in feature where the employee can see what they had been working on, what they are currently working on. So that's something you can have in your company and people will ensure to every day. So thank you very much for looking at this video. I hope it answers your question about what Happierco can do. Thank you.